All right, welcome back. So in this video, we will see how to automate the RPA challenge website. There is the input form and there are certain fields. We have to read the data from Excel sheet, which is available in Download Excel. And we will read the data from Excel sheet and enter those data onto these fields and click on submit. It will save those data. So this is the dev process we have to automate. So in the previous video, we have automated the same process, but we have used the data row, but we have not connected to orchestrator to consume the queue. So in this video, we will see how to consume the queues from the orchestrator. So let me give some idea about the project which I have implemented. So let me move back to the UiPath Studio. So I have created RE, I mean RE framework queue demo project. So, and another thing I have done is like in the data folder input, I downloaded from the website. If you click from here, download Excel, you'll get an Excel file for the input data. And I just copied over to this input file. You could see there are multiple rows of data available on this Excel sheet. So we have to uh, fetch this data from this Excel sheet and we have to enter those data onto those fields available in the RPA website. Okay, this is the scope of this demo. So first we have to analyze the process. So let me check the config file as well. If we go to here, so the config file, uh, we have certain fields in the settings. So I have added queue name, RPA challenge queue. I have created in the orchestrator that I'll show it to you. And also site URL, file location, file name. These are the few components I added which are required to perform this operation. Okay. So let me analyze this process. First, what we have to do. So when you create a project using RE template, you will get a half-baked tray. I mean, the like a template which is available from the RE framework. There are 4 stages available in that, like initialization, get transaction data, process transaction, and end process. These are the main 4 stages, but inside there are multiple workflows embedded. Okay, so let me go through each step. So I have created similar video in the previous demo regarding RE framework and demo with the RPA challenge website using data rows. So you could see more information regarding the stages, but anyhow, I'll just recall all those information once again in this video as well. Okay. So there are 4 stages. First stage is initialization. So compared to our website, I mean the website which we are going to automate. So there are certain stages we have to analyze. The first thing is we have to read config files because the URL and other components are available in the config. So we have to read the config data. So in the initialization stage, the first stage of RE framework, that is the initialization stage. In the initialization stage, we will read the configuration data, and next we will read the input data from the input data XR challenge Excel file, and we need to add those data one by one or in a bulk way to the queue. And next we need to launch the application. So there are 4 to 5 stages. First, we need to read the data from the config file. Second is we need to read the data from the input file. Third is we need to add those data to the queue. And fourth stage is we need to launch the application. So these are the main 4 stages will be handled in the initialization stage. Okay, let me get into this initialization stage. So if you come over here, so what I have done, there is a I have not done anything over here. Whatever the RE template given, I am just using that. Just after that, here invoke init all applications workflow. What we can do is this also comes by default. So here you could see what parameter we are passing into the workflow in config, because we need to have some queue information, etc. That's why we are passing it to that. That's fine. And if you click on init all application XAML, you could see in more detail about the workflow. So in the initialize all applications, I have added one activity, I mean one sequence over here, read data from input file. So in that I included the read range activity of workbook type. So in that I have just given the path from where it should read the data. You could see here workbook path I have given path.combine from the current directory and the location whatever I have given, the file location and the file name. It's read by the config file, because in config argument we are getting from the previous stage. From there we will get the file location and the file name. Done. So we are getting the file location. Okay. And also we have to provide the sheet name, the sheet 1, the default one, and also starting column from the A1. That's all. So this output, I mean whatever the data read from this activity, that will save it as a data table, the output variable dt. Okay, so all the data are available in the data table dt. Once we got the data table, so we need to add the items to queue. Here there is a trick. Either you can add one by one item to the queue using the for each loop. You can use for each row for the data table, and you will get each row, and you include add queue item, add items to the queue. I feel there is one more activity is there, that is nothing but add, one second, let me show that, add items. Perfect, add queue item. Either this activity can use if you are going to add one by one, or else you can add in a bulk manner, like whatever the data table I'm having, I'm just sending as an input for the activity dt, and queue name I'm just giving here whatever the queue key I have given it in the config file. In config orchestrator queue name I am passing that. That's all. So it will take care of adding all the queue items to the queue. Fine. So I'm just placing one message box over here to confirm about whether items are added or not, or whether it's past this flow or not. That's all. We can remove it later as well. Okay. So now we have cleared the 3 stages. The 4th stage is launching application. For that I have created a separate sequence, launching app XAML. Since we are, I mean, RE framework is, I mean, it tells us like we need to follow the modular way. I mean, we have to modularize our application. So if the if you see over here, this launching is an independent task. Like it's not having any dependency, so you can modularize it. You can make in a sequence, separate sequence, and you can inject into the main flow. That is the purpose. So in the sequence launching app, for example, could say I just use the open browser to launch the application. I use the retrace scope as well. So retrace scope, I just confirming the logo is exist. If that this logo exists on the page, that means the application loaded properly, so that can proceed further. Okay, so URL I'm getting from the configs as a site URL. Fine. So this will launch the application. So we are done with the initialization stage now. Okay. Next what? Next is get transaction data. Here it will read the data from the queue. Okay. So here actually by default, whenever you create a template using RE framework, by default gives us everything to us. Like you no need to change anything over here in the get transaction data, because as you see here, everything is available by default. So whatever the transaction number, transaction item, out transaction variable, everything is there. So you can utilize it inside the get transaction data example inside. If you come over here, the get transaction item is there, and it says like if you are not using the queue, then we have to place our logic. Otherwise, it will work with the orchestrator queue perfectly, no issues. Okay, so we are here also no need to change anything. So it will handle, I mean, it will take care of everything by default. So then what else? Then we need to create a process or sequence or activity for the updating data or entering data onto that website. Okay, so here what I've done, so here I'm just assigning, like, okay, let me come back to the flow itself, that would be better to understand. Let me open flow. So okay, this is the get transaction data. I'll let me move on to the process. Okay, process get transaction data, and this is the process. Okay, if you click on the process, here you could see process the current item, not no need to change anything. Here is a process XAML, by default it will be added. Here also import arguments, nothing, I didn't change anything, everything is there by default. Inside the open workflow we need to take care, we need to we are placing our actual logic to update data. Okay, so similar way, if you see here the arguments from the above uh, process or from above steps, we are getting in transaction item. So in transaction item will be having the current transaction item from the queue. So I'm just assigning a transaction trans item variable. So in the workflow it will be available as a trans item. Okay, so this sequence get queue item XAML, I mean that is under set update data.xaml. So I have just created, I mean, another module created for updating data. In that, what I'm trying to do is, I mean, no need to put like assign activity for each value. I'm just simplifying that to make understand. So this trans item will be having each row of data. If you see here the trans item trans item is nothing a queue item. So queue item of specific content of the column name dot toString, that gives the value of the particular row of the column. Okay. Similarly, since we have, there are like first name, last name, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. I created 7 variables: first name, last name, address, etc. till 7. And also I assign separate column values, row column values to the particular variable. Okay, so that I can use it in further activities. So after that, I'm just attaching, as usual way, attaching browser of that application, RPA challenge application. And also I'm just using the type into activity here. So all the type into activity, I'm just passing the assigned variable, whatever I created, last name, company name, as you seen here, like that. We can directly use trans item as well, no issues. Okay. So all the, I just placed in the type into activity with the assigned variable. Once the process, I mean, once the click operation is completed for each item, then I am making set transaction status is successful. So what it does actually, it will turn the status of queue item to successful. If you see over here in the queue, let me log in again. Okay, so it will change the status from the new to in progress and in progress to successful. Okay, I have many accounts over here. My proper account is this one. Okay, so again I have to go to orchestrator. Okay, one thing I forgot, how we can create queues. So you can log into this cloud.uipath.com, and the landing page will be as you seen before. You can remove it and just press enter. So this is the landing page. There is an orchestrator service. I feel the before UI was different. I mean before like 2 months 2 months. Now it has changed, I feel. So click on default tenant. It will open the orchestrator, and there is a many places there is a queue. I just created RPA challenge queue for the demo. You can see the details from view transaction. So how many queue items are added. Now, as of now, there are no items, and you can create from here the queue. It's very simple to create a queue in orchestrator. Just add the name and description and unique reference. This is something for like filtering based on the specific column name, like if there is a student record, pass, fail, and average, and if you have a color identification, red, green, blue, then you can specify the unique reference using the particular column as a status, like red, green, blue, or something. That's again auto try. There is a max retries. You can have it like 50. I just used one. So if the queue item is not processed properly, it can retry once again to do it. Okay. So that's how I created. This is the RPA challenge queue. And let me open another one which I have used previously. You could see all the status over here. So whenever the new items added, the status will be new, and once it's started consumed or it's accessed from the uh, processor, I mean the process, then it will be in progress, and once it's completed, the status will be successful. That's how the status works. Okay. So similar way, I just done the set status as successful. So this completes a transaction for one item. Okay. Similarly, so this get transaction will take care everything for the, I mean, fetching item from the queue each time and updating onto this field, and later it will increment by one number, transaction number. It will fetch again one more queue like that. Okay. So in this way it works and it completes the process. That's how I have implemented a process for automating RPA challenge using queue item. So once you connected to the orchestrator, you could see here the orchestrator URL, and whichever the orchestrator I connected, that you could see here, orchestrator URL and tenant as well. Okay, that's fine. So, okay, we are all done with the setup. Let me run now. As we see now, first it should let me close all the Excel sheet, otherwise it will not work. Okay, I just closed, and now it should start items added queue. And one more thing I want to specify here, that is nothing but let me close all, maybe close all documents. Okay, so this is the main.xaml end process, because we have covered all the three stages, and see the end process. In end process, what I have done, I am just cleaning up whatever I have used. If you see here, there is a close all application in the end process. I am just cleaning up all the uh, process which are open. Say I'm just using kill process one and close application. Okay. So these two process, kill process, I just give the Excel. If it is open, it should close that. Process name is Excel. And here in the close application, I spied out the specific logo of the application, so that if it is open, it should close. Okay. Okay, fine. Now the three stages are done. Now it's read from the values from the config values from the config Excel file, and read the data from the input data file and add it to the queue. So three stages completed. The fourth one should be open or launching the application. So now it's launching the application. Perfect. Once launched the application, it started adding, it's fetching from the queue values from the queue and entering into these fields. So these are the dynamic fields. Once you perform the submit operation, the position of the fields are getting changed each time. So For to for these kind of scenarios, as you know, like we need to handle with the UI Explorer or Dynamic Selector that I have explained in the previous video as well. You could see my previous video in the UiPath tutorial. So there are like 10 items. It will take 5 to 10 5 minutes. I feel there are multiple items in. So let us write to complete this. Once it's done, it will close all the application, so that completes our demo. I mean today's demo. So in the coming videos, I'll start using some more advanced topic in UiPath. So please wait and watch and subscribe. Okay, I think robot executed successfully, and it's when there are no more data for to process, it just kill the process Excel if it is there, and it close the application as well. So thank you for watching this video.